Hi, this is Sherry, live from Vancouver with At 45, the magazine for women over 45, for those of us who are discovering who we are, exploring what we want next in life, and we want more of everything. Love, fun, laughter, fulfillment. And these are trying times that we're finding ourselves in. And our quarantine conversations are an opportunity to break out of those four walls you're in, find some mental stimulation, laugh a little bit, and share experiences with other women. The magazine is working hard to provide a forum for women generally, but specifically in these trying times, we want to help get you through your trying time. So just a little bit of housekeeping. These videos are being taped and loaded up to our YouTube channel. And so if you do not want your face on them, please use an avatar. The agenda is we're going to open it up. I'll introduce the speaker. We're going to talk for about 20 or 30 minutes. And then you can unmute yourselves. We'd love to hear where you are and what's your reality in these quarantine times. And do a Q&A, any questions that you have to ask Gina. So that'll be at the end of our talk. So today we're getting to talk to Gina Best. Now Gina launched a multi-million-dollar brokerage business here in Vancouver. She's an accomplished entrepreneur, public speaker, and coach, both in business and life. Her tagline, "Fuck Fine," defines her attitude and her approach to life. And as she says, fine is seriously overrated, and however, fabulous is what we all want. And I know today that's true for me. I've known Gina for a number of years. She's a contributor to the magazine At 45. And we are so excited to have you, Gina.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. And just so you know, I'm 29 in my head.
Well, I think many of us might feel that way. So, Gina, today we're talking about how to move forward in these trying times. So I'm just curious, today, what's your reality at home? Or are you working at home? What are you doing?
I am working at home. I'm lucky enough I have a home office. I actually went to my outside office on Sunday and got my big computer and the extra computer because I have kids. I share custody with my ex. We do week on, week off, but right now we're being flexible with how this is going to pan out because, you know, apparently online learning is going to start sooner than later. So we'll figure it out. So really I've been home. The only time I leave, I run to the grocery store. I went to the butcher the other day. I go for walks, a lot of walks with the dogs, and I ride my bike a bit. I push through a lot of hills. I push it up a lot of hills. So that's my reality. You know, when the kids aren't with me, I had my first week of no kids last week. For the most part, it's okay. I actually am really good with my own company. I do get to a point that I'm bored. I have made 4 macrame plant holders. And last night I tried my hand at a macrame bracelet. I'm yet to decide if I like it or not. So, but I'm pretty good at occupying myself. I think the biggest challenge is when you work from home, there's lots of work to do. It's just getting to do it.
Absolutely. And I think even if we're not working and we're stuck at home, there's so many things that we could be doing, but it's really hard to get motivated and you know, it's easy to get overwhelmed with the sheer scope of what's happening in the world. So tell us a little bit about your journey to this point, Gina.
Well, it's been interesting because the self-isolation, I think in one way is the social distancing is not that different from a lot of my last few years. I went through a breast cancer, I call it the breast cancer adventure. And sorry, I got a kid sneaking in outside. go
No
around.
problem.
That's one of the new realities when you're working from home.
Absolutely.
As he shuffles through and avoids the camera, you might see him go out of the edge. There you go. So during all of the surgeries and the cancer journey, I self-isolated, not realizing that's what I was doing. So it's not that terribly different from what I experienced, some of what I experienced the last few years. What I realize is, and this might not be very popular to say, I get that this can be totally overwhelming. I get that it can kick you in the butt and send you down the rabbit hole. I get it, but it's also a choice. You can choose to be overwhelmed by it or not. And I know that's easier said than done, but the reality is that's the reality. You know, if you're really overwhelmed by everything going on, first of all, stop reading about it. Stop listening to it. You know, this is what it is right now. And for a recovering control freak, and I know there's a lot of people having a really hard time with it because they are control freaks. They have a real big problem with not knowing what is to come. But here is the ultimate lesson of letting go. You know, you can't control this right now. But one of the biggest ways to get through all this is structure. Because it's interesting that comes from me, because one of my biggest values is freedom. Like, no one gets to tell me what to do. I beat to my own drum, but structure sets me first. And I know, again, it sounds weird, but structure will help you through all of this, even if it's just a little bit, but it's quite amazing because it'll bring you relief. So it could be simple as, you know, so for an hour every morning, you're going to sit in front of your computer and you're going to do this. And then an hour in the middle of the day, like it's however you want to set it up. But if you actually set up a structure, it'll give you breathing space in there because you know what's coming next, because you have the structure. Like right now, my general structures, I get up anywhere between 5:30 to 9. It depends on the day. I slept till 9 one day last week, first time in 5 years. So I get up, I still do my usual. I have my coffee, I do my 30 minutes on my own time. Then I actually do my hair. I do my hair, I put makeup on because I know I'm going to be doing Zoom things. And it just also makes me feel like I'm, getting out of my pajamas into something different. I get dressed and then I work for a bit, right? I work for however long. I've set goals for myself every day. So every day I'm doing I deal with, active things going on in my business, but I also do 2 things I set out 2 things I will do every day for the next little while to work on my business as well. Because the interesting part of it is, especially for those of us who are self-employed, for those who are employed, depending on the situation in the company, some are working, some are not. If you're employed and you have been laid off, then you've got to find something to do. Right? Sitting in front of Netflix all day will make you absolutely off your tree. And I'm so thankful that I have so many hobbies. So thankful. So if that's one situation. So I'll address the self-employed situation because that's what I know the best, because that's me. Because, I have 3 businesses and they're all kind of up in the air. Is there business going on? Yes. But it's interesting because so many people are self-employed. Depending on what you do, please know there's caveats around this. If you have if you're a practitioner and you deal with people, of course you're not working right now. Depending on what you do, depends on what you can do in your business. But it doesn't mean you can't do things for forward thinking. I have a girlfriend and she keeps talking about this is the time to double down. Right. And I thought about it last night, and you know what? She's a realtor. So, everything is very up in the air for her right now, but she is planning for when we come out of this. We all have projects, we all have things to do. And the other reality is we all need to still make money. And as much as you guys know, probably as much as I do, when, you go through Facebook, there's all these sponsored links, people are still selling programs, all that kind of stuff. And you know what? Yeah, it's scary to spend money right now because we don't know if it's coming in. But the other side too is we need to spend money right now. Right? We need to spend money. We need money to people to spend money on us. And it's even though the situation is interesting and we've never been through this, if what you do provides a product or a service or support that brings value, if you're really being true to who you are and who you're here to serve, ask for the business. You know, yesterday I reached out. I've been doing coaching sessions with just some entrepreneurs who need a little bit of help. So I've been, you know, I have the time, so why not? So yesterday I actually met with a EFT practitioner. And I like to say, you know, they're tappers is what they do, right? It's all tapping. So we talked about it, and I gave her some ideas, because this is a great time for her to do, you know, 2-minute, you know, when you need your parent time out, here's a 2-minute tapping ritual you can do. Make sure you wash your hands first, but it's time that she can build a following. You know, there's different things, and we might not get the direct dollar value right this moment, but we will, you know, as long as we're providing service and you're true to who you are, it's okay to be doing business. I had a really hard time because I've just launched this new course. So I've launched a new program, and it's a membership program for new entrepreneurs who have a job and a side business, or entrepreneurs who've been in business for a while and need a refresh. I've been working on it for a couple months, and it came from I do a lot of volunteer work with a program that the Y and Work BC do together, and it's a program they do for entrepreneurs. I do workshops with them all the time. I always offer the participants at least an hour of my time after to see how it's going to help. And I've been thinking about lately about how do I support this group? How do I support this group when they can't really afford my services? You know, because, you know, for my one-on-one coaching, the price point is too high for this group right now. So I thought about it, and I decided I was going to launch a membership site that's a price point that everybody can get in, that has modules that'll help build your business, a resource library. It'll be live coaching every second week. So I had it all ready to go, and I sat on it for a week because of all this came down. And I had to have a real big conversation with myself about, do I believe I'm bringing value? Am I staying true to what I know? Is it going to help people in a time like this? And the answer was yes, so I released it.
Well, and I think that's a really important point, Gina, you know, for people who do have businesses right now. Just to put it in perspective, while you were talking, I just double checked. But right now, I mean, probably anybody who's on Facebook has been noticing how slow it is, or on YouTube. But right now, there are 2.45 billion people on Facebook at any given time. So basically, for those of us who have a business and we're telling ourselves, you know, oh, nobody's going to notice it right now. There's so much, you know, happening in the world. Well, yes, there is a lot, but all you have to do is get a minute section of those 2.45 billion people. And, you know, that's your circle, your friends, or what, or like through the magazine. The magazine, you know, has a large circulation among women. So we can't let the times, you know, discourage us from going after that business and putting your business out. I mean, Facebook ads, you know, you can do it for as low as $5 a day, or I think even lower. So that's a really good point. And
if you have a business that is people reliant, like say you're a practitioner of some sort, like let's use my EFT practitioner, for example, yesterday. Or if you're a chiropractor or a acupuncturist, you know, there's still things you can do. You know, there's you know, you can do value add things. You know, okay, so yeah, you're an acupuncturist and you can't practice right now. Well, you know what, maybe it's time to do a 2-minute series, you know, series of 2-minute videos that can help people work on their stress by pressing touch and pressure points, right? Because again, in this situation, not only is it about hopefully making money, but it's also about adding value to people as we move forward, you know? And even the funny things, you know, I saw this yesterday, my friend Tina tagged me in this oh, so stupid video, and I wish I could find it because I would show it to you. And it's just it's a badger or something screaming his head off in the woods. Oh my God, it made me laugh for like 10 minutes. I watched it about 6 times. You know, even the funny things, you know, I have one of the ladies I know who's on Facebook has been reading Harry Potter, and she reads every day. She reads a chapter, and she's getting a huge turn in. My friend Rihanna told me about a realtor out in Langley who does he did a live Facebook yesterday that was called Drinking with Realtors. And he got like 50 people. Sophia showed us something. So there's all sorts of different ways. And again, it's also about engaging your brain versus numbing out in front of a Netflix. I said to a friend yesterday, I am so glad I've done as much work on myself as I have, because if I hadn't, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like if I was the person I was 6 years ago, someone would be dead. You know, I'm actually laid back. I'm going with the flow. Like it's really interesting how I'm taking it in stride. And I also know for me, when it creeps in that I'm blue, for lack of a better word, you know, starting to go down the rabbit hole, I have to move my body, right? So I'll go walk the dogs. I'll get on my bike. I'll do a dance party. I'll run up and down the stairs in the house. Like I have to move my body because it's, you know, your psychology follows your physiology. So my biggest tip to anybody is, as you start going down the rabbit hole, get off social media, close the news app, and move your body in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. That's really, it's key to keeping, you know, your endorphins moving in a positive direction. Another thing that, oh, sorry.
In times like this is when imagination and innovation come up. And I'll tell you, yesterday I did a family photo shoot with my boys, and it was time for us to get new pictures. And I have a friend named Cheryl, and she's calling them porch side sessions. So she does them from 6 feet away. We do it on the outside of her house. We did it through the front door. She did it through the front window. It was so cool. Now she's also giving back to the community. It was, you know, $80, and I have all of these amazing new family photos. Now, is she covering her expenses? Hell no, it's not enough money, I doubt. But she wanted mainly for her. She just needed to do something. So this is where innovation kicks in.
Well, I think a key message there is that it doesn't matter what business you have, there is a component that you can move online. Even if, we were talking about this on another session yesterday, the fact that so many more people are answering their phones. So if you have some downtime, which, you know, usually in a business you don't, but here you've given, you know, God's gift of time, you can sit in your house and actually phone potential customers or people that you've wanted to connect with for a long time and haven't been able to, and they're probably going to answer your call. So even like just connecting with potential customers or customers is a great thing that you can be doing to move your business forward now.
Absolutely, you know, and it's interesting that I had a broker meeting before I did this with you, and it was just to get all my brokers together and just have a chat. And I said to them, you know, we're still doing business and we deal with underwriters, and these underwriters are now working from home, which is for a lot of them new. And I said to them, you know, when you're dealing with your underwriter, call them. And they all looked at me because they're so used to doing email. And I said, yeah, call them, because this is their new norm too. You know, so yesterday I called one of my favorites, and like I said, how you doing? He said, I am losing my mind. Right. And it was, you know, those little things. And it's the, you know, I said, here's a couple tips right off the bat. If you're working from home for the first time, set up a place to work. Like set up a place, even if it's the end of your kitchen table, turn it into your desk. You know, do that for a couple of days, and if you get antsy, move to the next place. But structure and set up. As you can see, I haven't quite figured out I have my fireplace behind me, but I brought home my big computer from the office because, you know, it's 4 times the size of my laptop. But I had to move my desk because I need to be able to see out the window. Like I sit here and look out my window. You know, it's the little things, and it's the transition from one thing to another. You know, I'm used to working from home, and I'd work from home, and I'd go do laundry, and I'd work from home, and tidy the boys' room, and I do. I'm not doing that anymore. You know, I did a bit of laundry this morning. I'm now working. I'll work again till I feed the boys lunch. Then we have a little bit of we hang. And like, I actually like my children. Like, it's huge, you know? You know, always love them. I don't always like them, but I'm actually, you know, I always say that I'm not that mom. Well, I am that mom. I made them chocolate molten cakes for dessert last night, you know? So they're the good things. And, you know, if you don't practice gratitude, oh my God, start doing it now. Right? 3 things a night that you're grateful for. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, and it's just this is the new norm. And as much as it terrifies me to say that we're going to be doing this for another month or 2, I kind of think we are.
Well, I mean, Trump said the day before yesterday that they're maintaining it till the end of April. I talked to a woman in the Canary Islands who says, I mean, they're almost 100% tourism, that they're prepared until September. That's what they've heard from their government. So I mean, here in Canada, we're quite fortunate, but I do think it's more than April or longer than April. And the thing is, even if maybe we're able to break a little bit earlier, probably travel and things like that are not going to come back because there's other hotspots around the world.
I have a family trip planned for August to Newfoundland, so we're still within the borders. And I'm really, really, really hoping that it'll go ahead because my parents are elderly. And thank goodness they are super okay. They're a little bit bored. They call me pretty much every day these days, which is new. And yesterday my dad called me and said, so I got some tips for you about cutting wood. And I'm like, cutting wood? And I guess I mentioned in passing, I've had hardwood underneath my bed that I inherited the divorce. I'm going to build a desk eventually. So he was thinking about it, just wanted to give me some tips. And I thought, wow. Right. And there's good things. Like yesterday was my sister's birthday. So we all did a FaceTime. It was complete madness. She did her candles and we did a cake. Okay, we've been able to do this always, but we never did. But we were all together. So it's interesting how the shift is going on for things like that, and I think the biggest challenge, and my heart goes out to the people who live alone. I think they are our biggest at-risk group, because it's, I have the boys, and even the week, like last week when I didn't have the boys, they still came by and walked the dogs and stuff like that. So I still saw them. If I needed company, I could call the ex and say, "Hey, drop the boys over for a couple hours," right? Like, I have that ability. But for those who live alone, like, they're the ones having the hardest time. And it's also this whole, yes, we're supposed to be doing social distancing, 6 feet from the next person. I'm not sure if you saw the lady on Facebook with the hula hoop and the balloons. No. She made a harness with a hula hoop, and she put balloons on it. So when they walked, they made sure they were 6 feet apart. Oh my God, I'm moving off. But go outside, for the love of God, go outside, walk around the block. Go in the back garden. Like, good God, just go outside. This is not, stay inside your 4 walls all the time. If you have a house, you're super lucky. I can go in the backyard. If you're in an apartment, you still can walk around the block. Just stay away from people. And the other thing that's really struck me, I'm telling, having a little rant now. So, absolutely, our first line people, the healthcare people, absolutely, my heart goes out to them. But what about the people who work at the grocery store?
Absolutely.
What about the truckers who are working 23 hours a day, right? Like, it's those people. And it's funny because I want to do something. You just, what do you do? Like, I want to bake and give it out, but everybody's afraid to eat it. My father's washing things when he comes home from the grocery store. So it's definitely, but my heart goes out to the people who are alone. They're the ones that we need to worry about, because not only is there going to be a financial fallout from this, which we all can see, there's also going to be an emotional fallout from this.
Absolutely. Gina, can I just interrupt for a sec? Because I see, Sophia, you're asking me to let Nancy in. However, I don't see her in the list of people to be let in. So I'm not quite sure what we can do about that. I don't see her, and I haven't seen her. I've been watching for her, but we will be putting this video up afterwards, and would I'll send her the link for sure if you let me know who she is. So sorry about that, Gina. I just wanted to
No
let her know
problem.
that I couldn't see her there. So absolutely, it's so important, and I think many of us know people who are at home alone, and you know, it's important that we reach out, but also some people aren't able to, you know, access maybe the food or grocery shopping. And I was talking to a woman yesterday whose neighbor is shut in. She actually tried to order groceries online, and she was told that they weren't accepting new customers till May. So that my friend said, well, don't worry, like, I mean, we're going out, so you just tell us what you need and we'll pick it up. So it is important to be supporting those people that we know that are single and in by themselves. So, I mean, you've had some great suggestions for moving forward, that we should adopt structure. We need to set a schedule, set an agenda.
And pick a goal. Pick a goal to work on for the next 30 days. And it doesn't matter what it is, right? It could be work, it could be personal, it doesn't matter. You know, I've, God forbid, the thing I miss the most is the gym. The gym is how I stay sane, and it's my, not just is it my exercise, it's also my sanity. So I'm really missing it. And so I have a friend who does a boot camp out of a company, which is nowhere near my house, but they're doing live, and I'm going to do I'm going to do a 28-day boot camp. God help us. I hate boot camp, but I'm going to do it because I'm not, as much as I know what to do, I can't be left to my own devices when it comes to it, because I won't do it. Like that's what I know too. Like as much as I know I can do it, I even downloaded an app. I'm not doing that without some, you know, I need someone to, you know, get an accountability buddy, check in, you know, it's all those little things.
An accountability buddy is a perfect example of how to move forward in these times. I mean, I'm a swimmer, as you know, every morning just about, and I actually, my mobility is sort of suffering from not being able to swim, but I've been trying to make an effort to go out for a walk in between doing things. So, but I had an accountability buddy for swimming, and it was just the best thing.
Sherry, get online and Google what are swimmers doing now that they can't swim, and find some kind of app or something that will get you to do a boogie dance party or something like that. Right? Like find out whatever works. You know, that's the other thing. One of the most interesting things in all of this is and it goes back to that control factor, is so many of us are ruled by what we believe, what we think, what we're supposed to do. Right now, there's no rules. Right? Like I had the whole, on Monday, I didn't work as much as usual. And I kind of went, okay. But that's taken me a long time to be able to do. You know, there's no rules in this, and you get to make your own rules on how things work. The biggest challenge is when you just get so deflated and you don't get off the couch.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another added benefit of the times that we find ourselves in. You know, often you're going into an office or you're doing your business, and you're having to interact and put up, if you want to say, with the people that either are in your office or customers or clients. It's very freeing to be able to be in your own environment and do it exactly how you want. You know, you can set your desk wherever you want. You can put anything you want around. You can do whatever schedule you want. So sometimes when we're working, we're envious of the people that are working at home. And then now that we have the opportunity, we're giving ourselves excuses or feeling sorry for ourselves that, you know, we can't get out, we can't do what we want. But gosh, here's a perfect opportunity to do exactly what you want.
Yeah. Someone has a question on the side. It's interesting. I was thinking about it last night as I was watching, as we were eating lava cakes, and I was watching American Ninja Warriors with the boys. My boys are 12 and almost 15. And I was thinking about how my weeks with the boys, I've been making a really big effort that I'm close to home when they're home from school. So I've been here by 4 o'clock. They're home by 4. I'm home by 4. But you have homework, you have dogs walking, you have everything. And I actually was thinking about it last night about Tyson made a really interesting comment about how he was thankful for the virus right now because it lets him sleep more, because he must be going through a growth spurt because he sleeps about 14 hours a night the last couple of nights. And I kind of said to him, and I said, can we reword that? Because just the way he said it. But you know what? There is little things inside of this. I'm actually being present with my kids, and there's no hurry, and the phone is put away, and we're laughing and we're watching stupid shows. There is good things inside of this as well, and that's what we really need to focus on.
It's true, absolutely true. So, how to keep moving forward in these trying times in one sentence, Gina Betts?
Set a schedule, pick a goal, and actually do it.
That's great. And I loved what you said before about being grateful, making sure that you're being grateful. Amazing opportunities to chat. Thanks so much for sharing your wisdom and your thoughts, Gina. It's always wonderful to have you. So we've got a number of people online. If you'd like to unmute yourselves, and I can sort of mention names if you'd like, but I'll leave it open, and just tell us where you are in the world, who you are, and what reality you're facing today, and any questions you have for Gina. Cheryl, I see you unmuted.
Yes, thank you so much. This was very good, very informative. I really enjoyed it. So I am here in Las Vegas, and I'm alone. My husband is in Arizona. My kids are in Canada. And so one thing that it's done for me is it's given me time to, because I'm an online marketer, so working from home is what I do all the time. But it's given me time to put together a program that I've been wanting to do for some time. So my question to you is, how would you go about launching a brand new program right now that's all about organic marketing and getting leads?
Just launch it, huh? Don't think too much about it. That's what literally I had my program ready to go. I didn't have the first module quite finished, but everything else was ready. And then this happened. And then I went for a bike ride last week, and then I sat in the garden with the dog, and I thought, I'm going to launch it right now. And I did, and I put it out there, because you know what? You're not being opportunistic. It's a program you've made, you've built it. There's no reason not to launch it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for doing this today.
And enjoy. Is it nice and warm?
Yeah, it was 82 yesterday.
Oh, we had snow this morning.
Our pools are closed though, so.
I know. Remember, go outside. Go outside, go outside,
Yeah,
go outside.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl. And I see a number of other people online. Anyone want to unmute their phone or computer and chat with Gina, or let us know where you are in the world?
It's Deborah. It's not Sarah, Gina.
Okay, sorry. It's funny. I looked and I was like, "What are you doing?"
We share a Zoom account.
Oh, okay. It makes total sense.
But yeah, so I was wrangling the kids out the door so I could work for a couple hours, and it took longer. Anyways, but thank you. I caught the tail end of it there, and yeah, Gina's great.
And Sarah, okay? Where are you?
I'm in Port Moody, Vancouver area.
Deborah, you doing okay?
Yeah. Each day is different. Yeah, it's.
I got a recipe. I'm gonna text you the link.
Okay.
I thought of you the other night when I made the most amazing peanut butter noodles ever.
Okay.
That is veggie, so.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to find the balance with 2 little ones at home, and yeah, managing a team of people with going through different, life changes and yeah, people that are single and at home and going through this alone, and then people that have spouses that are laid off. And my husband's a realtor, so he's doesn't have any work right now, so it's everything's relying on my shoulders. And I've got enough business in my pipeline to carry me through till June. But then after that, I don't know, because the last couple of weeks have been busy, but this week's I haven't got one inquiry. So
Yeah.
it's scary times.
Yeah, I'm with you. And what I'm noticing is things are really slow to being paid.
Yeah. Great.
But well, you know what? We'll all get through this together. So
yeah, but yeah, and you just each day's a new day, and it's a shift in mindset, and you could just, you can have your bad moments, but you just got to keep pushing forward. So
yep, totally.
Well, we're so glad that you joined us today,
Yeah.
Sarah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Holly, I see you've got your phone unmuted.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I love everything you said because I totally resonate with, and I want to say that I'm a single mom and I'm self-employed, and at this moment, because I'm on the personal service, I'm not allowed by Fraser Health to work. And first I panic, I start crying and like, oh my God. And I always do that. I go really down and then I get up. And then the day after I decide, okay, I'm going to study.
That's a great solution.
We were going, I had already booked a course in California, but I couldn't go. So I convinced the teacher in California to do it online. And, technically this is the first course she done online, but we are doing it. I'm studying every day. What helps me too, Gina, is absolutely a schedule. I dress up like I'm working. I come to my desk. And the things I'm enjoying the most is I don't feel rush. I sleep enough. I have time to cook what I want. And other thing that I've been noticing a lot that it's amazing is lots of things that I used to have the excuse I don't have time. So now I'm confronted with the reality. You do have time. What's really the excuse? And it's really interesting to see that. The challenge that I still have a little bit is what can I offer to my clients? So I send emails with recipes, healthy recipes, constipation for this or that. But back in my mind, I know there's more I can do. I just not totally connect with that, maybe because I'm so busy studying and I'm putting my program all together. So when this is done, my school is ready to go.
Sophia, pick up the phone and call them.
Okay.
That's what you can do. The other thing I want to mention in all of this, like Sophia, like you said, your reaction was tears, because that's my reaction too. Like I logged into Revenue Canada the other day and, oh my God, I burst into tears, having a little rant. Whatever you're feeling in this is completely normal. If you're up, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to get angry, get your baseball bat out. Like, okay, get your baseball out for your bed. Let me just rephrase that. You're allowed to be up. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be joyful. Like whatever you're feeling, just let it come. And you know what? Tears are normal. There's a huge grieving process going around all of this. But the single biggest thing you can do for your clients is pick up the phone.
I want to mention one thing about that, just if anybody are ready to pick up the phone. I receive a phone call from someone else, and in the middle of the phone, sorry about my language, I just told her, I'm sorry, I'm really pissed off with your call. I need to hang out. Because I think people should phone, as you say, it's a time to connect, not to be selling things. And she was trying to sell me a Kangen water machine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you joking me?
No, it's
Zero
calling.
coming in. And she's like, oh, there's financing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're really pissing me off.
Yeah. It's calling to check in.
It's calling to say, how can I serve you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I'm just, I picked yesterday. I called 3 people because they were on my mind, and I just said I'm calling just to check in with you because you're on my mind. I don't care if you're buying anything, you're selling it. Like, I completely agree. You know, it's the truly you when you make the phone call, it's the only reason you're doing it is to check in to see how they are.
Mhm. Thank you.
Sophia, what is your business?
I'm a colon hydrotherapist, so it's really hard to do it on the phone.
Oh, absolutely. And are you located here in Vancouver?
Excuse me?
Are you located in
I'm in
Vancouver?
Fort Langley.
Oh, Fort Langley. Okay. Yes,
I was there, I
there's
would
no part of that business you could turn online. Sorry, Cheryl, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I wish I was there. I would come see you.
Well, maybe you could connect, or she can give you some tips.
I can give you tips, so I can connect you with someone in the States for sure, but not now. We are all closed.
And is there anyone else online who would like to comment?
I
Okay.
wanted to know that I had 2 friends that tried to get in, and they only got a screen saying they are waiting for Gina or you to allow them in.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
They're on the phone for a while. That's why I was with the phone.
But yeah, it's a good thing to have, Sherry, because the other day I was on a Zoom call on Tuesday and it got hacked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like these 2 total turds came in and we had to disconnect the shit and set a new one up. It totally got hacked.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah, so it's great the way you're doing it. You got to RSVP and then share. So guys, if you're doing Zoom stuff, learn from that.
yeah, that's great. Well, so just to let you know, these are being loaded up onto YouTube. They should be up tomorrow. But also if you subscribe to the magazine at 45.com and join our Facebook group, Fab 45 Women's Revolution. The video links are posted in there. So Gina, Bess, thank you so much. You're always have some wonderful insight to share, and the magazine and myself, we thank you.
Always my pleasure.
And thank you to everyone who came onto the call. There are many more of these conversations lined up. Let me just get to my page. This afternoon, we're doing abstract painting, coloring your world with an accomplished painter. Her artwork is all around the world, Golfo Sakumis. Tomorrow, we're doing marketing your business in 2020. An online marketer, Anne Merritt, is speaking to us from South Africa. And then tomorrow afternoon, if you had got the magazine yesterday morning, you would have seen her video in the article that we shared. But it's Carol Bertuzzi Luciani, who is a motivator. And oh my God, she set up a backyard circuit. It was such a hilarious thing to watch. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can go on to the magazine and read her article and watch the video. It was a hoot. So she's tomorrow afternoon. And we've got a whole nother lineup next week. A number of people speaking. We'll be releasing that lineup tomorrow. So thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful day wherever you are.